Let's get it. 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 Hit it, chat. Hit it, chat. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, chat. Let's get it, chat. She boy sad, man. Let's do this thing, man. Back at Soulmask. Back. My bad. I had a doctor's appointment and stuff, man. Your boy was taking care of my health, man. But we back. Taking care of my health, man. But we back. Let's get it. Let's get it. So I can see the chat. I can see the chat. We can see the chat. Let's get it. Let's go.
Crushing office job. One day, while waiting for a crowded train, he was suddenly teleported to a fantasy world. He woke up in a massive stone castle facing a king who claimed he had summoned heroes to save his kingdom. Norio wasn't alone. There were about 10 other people there. Priests began checking everyone's stats and special powers called skills. One high school girl, Momoko, got a super rare combat skill and the king was thrilled. But when it was Norio's turn, the priests were shocked. They told the king that Norio had absolutely no skills at all. He was basically useless to them. The king explained that they were at war with demons and needed these heroes to fight. Since Norio had no powers, he knew he'd be a burden in a war zone. He didn't want to go back to his old boring life, but he didn't want to die in battle either. When he found out there was no way to go home anyway, Norio made a deal. He asked the king for a piece of land far away where he could live a quiet life as a farmer. The king, wanting to get rid of a useless hero, agreed. He even tricked Norio into buying the land using the gold coins usually given to newcomers as a gift. Norio didn't mind. He took his tools, changed his name to Kitten to fit the fantasy vibe, and headed out. After a month of walking, Kitten reached the very edge of the world, a vast, empty wasteland right by the ocean. It was completely abandoned, but Kitten loved it. He was finally free from bosses and taxes. He planned to turn this desert into his own private paradise. But here's the twist, Kitten isn't actually powerless. Before he arrived in this world, he met a clumsy but kind god named Hephaestus in a void between worlds. Hephaestus told him that the usual goddess in charge of skills was biased, so he was stepping in to help Kitten himself. Hephaestus, the god of making things, gave Kitten a special gift called the The kingdom's priests couldn't see it because it was a gift from a real god, not the basic skills they were used to. Now standing in the middle of nowhere with his cheap tools, Kitten is ready to start his new life, unaware of just how powerful his non-existent skill actually is. So the protagonist has settled into a nice little routine. Fields are growing, house is built. Water problem is solved thanks to the Supreme Bearer gift turning seawater into fresh water just by touch. Now it's time to explore the mountain. He heads into the forest with an axe and a hunting bow, both tools he bought from the cabin. The moment he picks them up, the gift kicks in and he becomes a master at using them instantly. He moves through the trees like he's been doing it his whole life. The mountain is full of life. He spots animals, tracks them down, and gets food without much trouble. The bow works almost too well. Whatever he aims at, he hits food. He gathers some wild herbs and berries along the way too, making a mental note to which ones look edible. On the way back, he notices something interesting, a natural spring coming out of the mountain rocks. Clean, fresh water flowing freely. He tastes it and it's perfect. This is huge because now he doesn't have to rely on the seawater to freshwater hand trick every single time. He marks the spot carefully, already thinking about how to build a path and pipe system to bring the water closer to his house and fields. Back at the cabin, he cooks up everything he found, mountain game, herbs, some of the dried seaweed from the pool. The meal is simple but really good. He sits outside eating, looking at the field where the crops are already growing faster than they should be, the little cabin he built in a day, and the ocean in the distance. Things are actually coming together. It hasn't even been that long since he got here, and he already has shelter, food, water, and salt sorted. The Supreme Bearer gift is just broken honestly. It keeps doing things nobody expected, like sprouting crops from bare soil or purifying seawater just from touch. He goes to sleep that night already planning the next steps. He wants to grow rice eventually so he can make rice balls for Hephaestus. He wants to figure out clothing before his supply from the capital runs out. And he's curious about the spring that could change everything for the farm. One guy, one gift from a god, and a piece of land nobody wanted. Somehow it's all working out. Hold up. Smash like and subscribe for more hidden manga gems. Now, I dare you to comment. I love it. I bet most of you won't do it. Alright, let's continue. Kitten looked at his fields, where the crops were growing well but still taking their sweet time. He He turned to Platyfish and asked if her magic could help the vegetables grow faster. He was just curious, but Platyfish took it as a challenge. She immediately got to work with her flasks and tubes, mixing strange ingredients with a focused look on her face. After a bit of brewing, she handed him a bottle of glowing green liquid. She called it a super growth potion and told him to sprinkle just a few drops on the soil. Kitten was skeptical, but the moment the liquid touched the ground, the plant started shaking. Right before his eyes, the stems shot up, leaves unfurled, and bright red tomatoes and huge potatoes popped out of the earth. In seconds, the field went from a work in progress to a full-blown harvest. Kitten was stunned. He realized that having a mermaid wife who was also a master chemist was basically the cheat code for survival. While he was happy about the food, he also felt a bit overwhelmed by how fast his quiet life